So I got to meditate yesterday at the Shan Buddha Museum, and it was such a cool experience. The cool thing is we got to meditate in this room. We did like a 10-minute meditation and then a 10-minute prayer for world peace, and then she also went into some stories from like a real monk that actually is there because they also have a monastery there. We got to actually meditate with the tooth relic, which is one of the tooth relics of the actual Buddha, the lying down Jade Buddha. The whole room was really great. It's specifically for meditation and prayer. So obviously we couldn't take photos of that, but I can show you bits and pieces of the photos of the actual things. But yeah, it actually brought back memories of my very first time meditating. It made me laugh because it was such a funny experience. It reminds me that I've actually made a lot more progress, even though I find it kind of difficult to focus myself into meditating. I wanted to share my story about that. Maybe it'll encourage you to do it even though it's very uncomfortable at first. So I was a freshman in college and my roommate was going to a meditation session at Georgetown. And she was like, "Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll come with you." And so I went, and it was like a little group and they had pillows in a circle. And so we were just sat around. They didn't really give much instructions. We were sat all cross-legged on the floor on these pillows. And then we started meditating. And I think it was like an hour long. And if you're a beginner, first off, don't do an hour-long meditation. Try 5 minutes. Anyways, so during that meditation session, I was like so stressed out. I was like, oh my God, is anybody looking at me? It's just like being a freshman, like that's the feeling, right? So I was like, okay. And then I was like panicking. Thoughts were racing through my head. I could not concentrate at all. I like literally, this was my first time meditating, so I didn't really know the mechanisms, and I don't think they even told us like how you meditate, right? And then eventually I was like, oh my God, my feet are going numb. My legs are going numb. Oh my gosh. And I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to stand up later? Like, this is so embarrassing. It was just like awful. And just like thoughts just kept running through my head, different thoughts, but especially panic rushed into me when my feet were getting numb. And I didn't know, I was like, can I move? Can I shift? And everybody's just like really into it, you know? And then at the end of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I am never meditating again. But now as I've gotten older, I've meditated in different times and seasons of my life. And it's become a lot easier because I know that relying on my breath actually really helps me a lot. That was like a awful experience, and it put me off to meditation for quite some time. But now I know the value of meditating, and also this time at the Buddha Museum has actually made me feel like, okay, maybe I can actually meditate and be okay with that, because I've been kind of struggling with myself about meditation lately. But yeah, I just wanted to share that experience because if you're new to meditation, don't be worried. Try to pace yourself. Do 5 minutes. Okay, if you can't do 5 minutes, literally do 2 minutes. Do something short as your beginning meditations, or try to do guided meditations. They are really great ways to get into meditation rather than trying to force yourself to sit there for an hour. And the worst thing is like being around a whole bunch of strangers too, because I was like, I had my roommate, which is great, but the thing is, everybody else, I was like, I have no idea who any of these people are. You know, it was the first time going there, and I was like, that's my last time. Things can change and improve though, I promise.